What's up, world? I am back with another TYSK report, and of course, those articles are lined up on the docket. So before we begin, do me a favor, like the video, subscribe, and let's go ahead and dive into our first article talking about surgical robots. Stereotaxis receives first order for Genesis X surgical robot. Stereotaxis Incorporated announced recently that it has secured the first order for its latest generation robotic system, Genesis X. The surgical robot developer said the system is geared towards minimally invasive endovascular intervention. Genesis X builds on the benefits of robotic magnetic navigation (RMN) while making the technology more accessible for healthcare providers. The system does this with two improvements. First, it uses smaller magnets. Second, it incorporates magnetic shielding into its structure in place of the shielding otherwise installed in the walls of the operating room. Stereotaxis noted that Genesis X is smaller and lighter than its previous generation system. In addition, the company claimed that the system maintains its standards in speed, responsiveness, and efficient workflow. Stereotaxis said it plans to gain regulatory approvals in Europe and the US for a portfolio of compatible electrophysiology and vascular catheters, demonstrate real-world use of Genesis X, and enhance the compatibility of Genesis X with various X-rays. The company will also prepare supply chain, manufacturing, installation, and commercial processes for a full launch. So if you're not familiar with surgical robots, this is not the only company building these devices. I believe surgical robots are going to be implemented a lot more into the future in different hospitals and different clinics, and soon this technology is going to be utilized where your everyday person is going to be familiar with it. Also, with all these surgical robots and the testing that these companies have been doing, they've been finding that it's giving them the opportunity to be a lot more efficient and reduce the amount of damage that comes with surgery. One day we all will see a transformation when it comes to robotic usage in the healthcare space. Let's move on to the next article talking about AI and music. Refusion's free AI music platform could be the Spotify of the future. Refusion, a San Francisco-based artificial intelligence startup, unveiled a free web platform that enables anyone to create original music using AI, marking a significant advance in generative AI's expansion into creative domains traditionally dominated by human artists. The company's new AI model, called Fuzz, can generate complete songs from text descriptions, audio clips, or visual prompts. What sets it apart is its ability to learn individual users' musical preferences over time, creating an increasingly personalized creative experience. Unlike competitors that charge subscription fees, Refusion is making its platform freely available worldwide. The company's small team of 10 artists, engineers, and researchers has focused on creating an intuitive interface that appeals to both professional musicians and casual enthusiasts. In blind human evaluations, Fuzz outperformed competitive models when giving identical lyrics and sound prompts. The technology builds upon the company's groundbreaking work in applying image diffusion techniques to avoid spectrograms, a method that has since influenced research at major tech companies. The company, which raised $4 million in October 2023, plans additional developments later this year. So it looks like DeepSeek really opened the gate for lots of innovation and creativity to happen with different companies, and with this one right here from Refusion, we could start to see more and more people utilize this tool to the point where they could become as popular as the artists out in the world who have millions and billions of people listening to their music. So as more and more parts of artistry begin to be impacted by artificial intelligence, and with this news right here related to how AI content could be copyrighted, could we one day see a song from Refusion win a Grammy? We never know what the future holds, but I'll be sure to bring you that information if it happens. Let's move on to that next article. Oshkosh Airport of the future features autonomous ground support EVs. Leveraging its advanced autonomy stack, Oshkosh Corporation's Aerotech Group has debuted a series of electric support vehicles for the airport of the future that includes a driverless electric baggage and cargo handler. Airport ground support vehicles like baggage handlers, fueling rigs, are ideal for use cases for electrification. The company believes its electric and autonomous gate and ground support equipment combined with other connected technologies, will help airlines to optimize operations and reduce travel delays related to cargo and loading. The company also unveiled last month the baggage handler, where Oshkosh showed off its AI-powered self-driving vehicles and connected solutions like IOPS and Clear Sky Smart Fleet technologies to improve operator safety both at airports and on construction job sites. So that's more news related to autonomous vehicles being implemented at different airports. Not only is it just out there in Oshkosh, I talked about how another company out there in Switzerland was working on implementing autonomous technology to take on different airport tasks. So as more and more companies continue to work on this, don't be surprised if you see lots of this technology driving on its own from one part of the airport to the next. In our next article, we have Flying Taxi Network planned for Utah. Air taxi developer Beta Technologies has signed an agreement with 47G Utah Aerospace and Defense to launch Advanced Air Mobility AAM operations across the state. The two organizations plan to identify the best routes for electric aerial vehicles operations. As part of the AAM approach, Beta would build out its multimodal electric charging infrastructure and determine locations for EAV demonstrations and pilot training. The EAVs would start with eCTOL, electric conventional takeoff and landing vehicles, followed by FTOL, electric vertical takeoff and landing vehicles. In addition, Beta has received an order of 20 EAVs from Metro Aviation, an air medical operator that operates in 27 states, which plans to use the flying vehicles for air medical operations. Metro plans to integrate the ALIA into its fleet to increase access to rural and urban areas and to provide inter-hospital and scene transport. In our next article, we have Grubhub and delivery robots. Grubhub is bringing new delivery robots to college campuses. Grubhub is partnering with AV Ride, an autonomous robot delivery company, to expand its offerings on college campuses. The pair have launched 100 robots on the Ohio State University's campus, but have plans to expand further. The robots can hold a decent amount of food, such as an assortment of pizza and drinks, the company stated. They also have customizable LED panels that offer animated designs, such as the college colors. The robots can also make 180-degree turns instantly thanks to a new mechanical connection between each side's wheel pairs. This partnership adds to Grubhub's existing robot delivery presence on campuses. Since 2021, the company claims it has delivered hundreds of thousands of orders using robots on dozens of schools. So with this being only February, we could see more and more companies begin to partner up with startups and companies like AV Ride who are building delivery robots. Now, thinking about this from a very futuristic standpoint, I do wonder if one day we could get to a point where new apartment buildings could have a built-in slot on the windows where drones can deliver packages and food right to that designated slot. So I could see the delivery robot and the drones working in tandem, where this robot right here could deliver things from floors 1 to 10, but then the drone could deliver things from floors 11 to 20. So that was just something that I thought about when I was reading this article, and due to the innovation that continues to happen each year, I don't believe that idea is a far-fetched idea. In the next article, we have an update from Waymo. Waymo employees can hail fully autonomous rides in Atlanta now. Waymo said it's launching fully driverless robotaxi rides for employees in Atlanta, an important step before the company opens the service up to members of the public later in 2025. When Waymo officially launches its commercial robotaxi service in Atlanta, it will be exclusively via the Uber app. Waymo and Uber also plan to launch together in Austin this year. The Alphabet-owned self-driving company opened up robotaxi rides to certain members of the public in Austin in October after first offering rides to employees 7 months earlier. So Waymo's robotaxi expansion continues, and it looks like they are going to take their wheels beyond the California roads and streets. So I do wonder how things are going to play out in Atlanta and also these other places where Waymo is launching their robotaxis. I'm thinking about recently how a group of people set a robotaxi on fire in California. So I'm curious to see how the people are going to treat these robotaxis in their city. In our next article, we have Cave Crave brings the climb mechanics and the claustrophobic splunking sim this spring. Cave Crave is slated to arrive on PSVR 2 and Quest sometime this spring, bringing with it a few familiar climbing mechanics, albeit with a bit of a twist. A grip indicator lets you know how much strength you have left before falling to your peril, but also a muck removal mechanic which lets you brush the slippy dirt off your hands for better purchase, mirroring the chalky mechanics seen in Crytek's The Climb series. You'll explore your way through environmental challenges such as steep climbs, narrow tunnels in water, clearing your path of obstacles with a hammer, and making sure to mark your path with a trusty piece of chalk, and you'll climb walls and ceilings using ice axes. You can pre-order Cave Crave on Horizon Store for Quest 2 and above, priced at $13, and wishlist on PlayStation Store for PSVR 2. So it's been a while since I brought you some news related to the virtual reality space, so I thought it would be nice to bring you some visual insight related to something that different companies are building, and the company that built Cave Crave has had some great success with the other games that they built. So if you have a Quest or a PSVR 2, you'll be able to get this Cave Crave in the spring, and if you don't have a virtual reality headset, maybe this would entice you or encourage you to get one. Range Rover's first EV now has 57,000 buyers on the waitlist. The Range Rover electric SUV will finally hit showrooms this year. As one of the most anticipated launches of 2025, Range Rover's first EV already has 57,000 buyers on the waitlist. With sales of Range Rover's plug-in hybrid PHEV models surging 163% in Q3, JLR said more buyers are taking the steps towards electrification. The company promises that the Range Rover Electric will be the most capable luxury SUV on the market. According to Range Rover's executive director of product engineering, Thomas Mueller, the EV is already outperforming its iconic gas-powered models. After driving the Range Rover Electric up 328 feet on fine sand, Mueller said Range Rover Electric matches the performance of its ICE equivalents, in some instances even surpassing them. So that's just some of the latest news when it comes to the world of technology. I do hope that you enjoyed this video, and to continue to stay informed, do me a favor, like the video, subscribe, and then check out these two videos right here, and stay tuned for the next video.